In a few short weeks, you will be drawing to a close what is, for most of you, the first part of your college experience. For some of you, I imagine the last few months have dragged by, and you cannot wait for break to finally arrive. Your head and your heart are filled with longing for a slower pace and a chance to log off Zoom for a few weeks. You probably look forward to time with your old friends, those who know all the inside jokes you've missed and who are returning home from their own unique experiences. You probably look forward to savoring nights streaming Netflix guilt-free without homework looming over your head. You might be anticipating lazy mornings spent in bed looking at TikTok videos, rather than these silly lectures recorded by professors you might not ever meet in person, and who are far less funny than your favorite TikTok stars. Others of you might not be looking forward to break at all and dread the semester's conclusion. Perhaps life at home isn't always great, and your time with George Fox professors has given you a much-needed escape from the difficult parts about home. Perhaps you can't imagine the yawning gap of weeks and weeks spent figuring out how to keep busy after a semester of constant movement and constant noise. Ready or not, though, this semester at George Fox University is coming to a close. I wonder how you will look back on this time in your life, and whether in years to come you will see the past weeks and months with pure delight, or with feelings a bit more complicated. To be honest, when I finished my first year of college, I wondered why everybody told me college would be the best time of my life. Because being away from home, living with a roommate I actively disliked, and navigating the stress of being an athlete with too much homework definitely was not the best in any way imaginable. So if you're wondering when college actually becomes fun or interesting or challenging or easier, you are probably more normal than you realize. You may be wondering why we had you view several graduation speeches in this, your first college writing class. In part, we want you to realize that your own graduation will be here sooner than you can imagine. And before you know it, you will be marching into the stadium, the band playing Pomp and Circumstance, your image flashing briefly on the Jumbotron as you celebrate everything you've accomplished. We have faith that you will cross that figurative finish line so long as you persist in your studies, while also savoring everything that your college experience has to offer you. Many commencement addresses are what my husband likes to call self-erasing, meaning that those who listen often forget what the address was about moments after the speaker finishes, if not before. We chose the particular addresses you viewed because they are in countless best commencement speech ever lists, and also because they consider character formation, and an idea you've been exploring in your general education courses this semester. And not only do they explore this idea, they also see character formation as deeply rooted in their faith, another notion shared with you from your GFU professors. Neither Chadwick Boseman or Michelle Obama are known first and foremost for their spiritual leadership. They have led public lives that some Christians might label as secular. And yet, in their commencement addresses, they both explore their understanding that God calls each of us to play unique roles in the world, and that we are shaped for a purpose beyond that which we can fully understand right now. Both Boseman and Obama provide examples of how the dangers of a single story led to hardships in their lives, as a Black actor and as a First Lady, and how they were able to overcome these hardships through grit, resilience, and a sense that God was shaping them with a greater purpose in mind. Boseman shared about how his own education at Howard University taught him to cherish the beauty and variety of the Black experience in America, and how the values he learned at Howard, the way his education formed him, made it impossible for him to blithely accept some acting roles. What do you do if the values you learn close doors for you, he asks, and then provides the answer, that sometimes you need to feel the sting of defeat to activate the purpose God has for you. Struggles are meant to shape you for your purpose, Boseman says. When God has something in mind for you, it doesn't matter who or what stands against it. I love this metaphor that he uses in his speech of climbing a mountain built by academic, financial, social, familial, and other challenges. At graduation, he says, you are at the summit and you can look out over everything you have accomplished considering why God has brought you to that peak. Right now, you might not be able to see what your calling truly is. You might be grappling with barriers no one else knows about, and you might feel like you lack the energy and the resilience to go on. But we'd like you to see this class as a mountain you've also had to climb, with plenty of challenges to potentially impede your progress. You are almost to the top, and almost at the place where you can look back and see what you've accomplished, as well as why God has brought you here. On occasion, when I've hiked with a family or friends and reached the top of a challenging climb, I haven't always wanted to linger. I get impatient with my husband, who could spend hours surveying a landscape and thinking about its formation. I'm ready to move on quickly, ready to get on with the hike, a little freaked out about how high in the air we've climbed, and often how steep and perilous the terrain can be at the top of some trails. What I hope for all of you is more patience than I can ever muster, as you stand now near the summit of your semester, looking back at what you've accomplished, the challenges you've faced. For the time being, don't gaze ahead to the rest of your college journey, and don't be afraid of the challenges you will certainly face at the perilous terrain that might await you. Instead, enjoy the view from here. Celebrate the experience of getting this far already in your college journey. Relax with some Netflix or a good book over the break, and then commence with the rest of your education and your life, confident in the knowledge that despite the barriers you will certainly face, God is calling you to continue your climb.